Hi everyone and welcome to Stamp with Angela. I'm Angela Palmer and I'm looking forward to sharing some paper crafting card making ideas with you today. So thanks for joining me, whether you're joining me on Facebook or YouTube. Thanks for being here. You may be watching this live or perhaps you're watching the recording later. So I'm looking forward to sharing some ideas with you using Stampin' Up products. So I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Auckland, New Zealand, and I've been a demonstrator for actually it's 11 years this July that I've signed up. So been one for a long time, enjoy what I do. Initially, I started just doing a class once a month and getting a few extra supplies and things, and now I do a lot more classes and things online like this live and things. So if you've ever considered being a demonstrator yourself, feel free to ask me more. You can just do it for yourself, get together with friends, do your own crafting. And if you like doing classes and stuff, obviously you can do more as well. So today I'm going to share with you a card, one of the cards that I did at Coffee and Cards on Tuesday. So the first Tuesday of the month at our local cafe, Vero Cafe in Unsworth Heights. A group of ladies come. I've got two sessions, one at 9:30 for an hour, and the second one at 10:40, and also for an hour. And we make two cards. I'm going to share one of those cards with you today. So in the annual catalogue is the beautiful, thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper. And that is what we are using today. So I'm going to show you how to make some quick, easy cards, and the paper will do a lot of the work for you. So these papers are beautiful. If you saw my live last week, I was kind of using the stamp set and dies, the Thoughtful Wishes stamps and dies that kind of coordinate with this paper, but I did use the paper as well. Whereas today I'm focusing more on the paper, just adding sentiment and a bit of embellishment. So you can see variations on that. All right, so let's check out my craft table and I'll show you some examples and how to make them. All right, here we go. So these are the two of the cards that I made, and using the Designer Series paper. So let me just show you in the catalogue this suite. So if you look in the annual catalogue, and if you have a look on page 46 and 47, you'll see the Thoughtful Journey suite. So this is the stamps and dies that I mentioned before. We've got some embellishments, some specialty paper, but what I am mainly using today is this beautiful Thoughtful Journey 6x6 Designer Series paper, and it's got that watercolor look to it. So on this page over here, you'll see a variety of cards some are using the papers, some are using the stamps, some are using the dies. So all sorts of ways that you can use this particular set. So I really like it. So I'm going to show you the papers first. Now I have used quite a bit already in classes and things, but I've still got lots left, so we've got plenty to choose from. All right, so it's a 6x6 paper, and one of the sides has got these beautiful kind of watercolor scenes, whether it's got flowers or plants or just, sort of background kind of looks. I think we had that one already. So there's 4 of each, and you've got a range of colors. So I'm going to show you how you can use that one actually. Make the most of your paper, and we're actually going to get 2 cards from one sheet. That one you might have seen in the catalogue. So some of them are repeating. And then if you flip them over, you'll see more of just mostly a monochromatic colour background kind of thing. Or some of them are mixed colours now that I say that. So they're all sort of mixed colours, but there you've got wild wheat and I think pretty peacock, but more sort of background. Okay, they're not monochromatic, they're a mixture of colours, but it's not a scene as such, but just watercolour backgrounds and things. So there are other designs and some of them have been used, but that's just some of them. Now I would recommend that you check out this here. So this comes with it, and it lists all the colours that are used for in these papers. So we've got quite a few colours. We've got Blackberry Bliss, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock, and Wild Wheat. So lots of different colours. So you'll see with my cards, I've chosen kind of one of the more prominent colours and accented it. So here we've got our Mossy Meadow kind of background and then a colour from the paper. So actually that's sort of Wild Wheat, but I've used crushed curry. And I realised that crushed curry now isn't one of those, it's actually Wild Wheat, but I like the way the yellow sort of lifts it up. Petunia Pop for this. I've used the Cajun Craze or the Lost Lagoon or the Pretty Peacock. There are some other, just grabbing them, accent sort of colours. That's the Cajun Craze, the Lost Lagoon, the Pretty Peacock. So there are other Misty Moonlight, other colours that you can use to accent. All right. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you to those that are joining me today. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Joe. And anyone else who's here. Thank you for being here. All right. So I am using the note cards. So these are smaller. So that's what I use at Coffee and Cards, note cards. And basically we're using the papers. We're adding some embellishment and a sentiment. Now the plan was actually to stamp directly on it. But with this one, I think I messed it up, so we had to cover it up. This one here, it didn't quite work, so I've put an extra piece on. So let me show you the papers, and we're going to choose a couple to have a play with, and I'll give you measurements and things like that. So I wanted to do one with Cajun Craze, so we're going to use that there, and one with the blues. I think I might have a half already cut. Let's have a look. If not, we will find a blue one for something a little bit different. Where are my blues? What are your favorite colors? I want one using those papers. There we go. Okay, so often with a standard size card with a 6x6, you would probably cut about 10 centimeters down, and then you'd have a spare strip. What I want to do with this is cut it directly in half, and then we can get 2 cards from that one piece. So here's my piece that's already cut. I'm going to grab my trimmer, and I'll cut one. One's already been done to show you what to do. So basically this is a 6x6, so we're cutting it in half at 3 inches. Now usually we're working centimeters, but 3 inches, which is like 7.6 or just a fraction over 7.6. So we're going to cut it in half, and then that way I've got 2 cards. Now usually when I do a note cards, I'll have one coloured piece, and then my next layer will be like 8 centimeters. Well, this is a lot smaller than that. It's only 7.6 kind of thing. So there'd be a big gap, and I didn't want a big gap. So that's why we have got a couple of layers. So for this one here, I've got a piece of Mossy Meadow, and this is 8.3 by 12.3. And then we're going to go for an accent color of Cajun Craze. So it's a fraction smaller, so it just gives a little accent. And that is, 3 millimeters less, so 8 by 12. And then it's not quite 3, but, excuse me, 7.6 by 11.7. So they're my measurements. I'll try and add them to the description after, so you've got them. So depending on your paper, obviously this is way too long, and we need to cut some off. So you can decide, depending on the design, if you're going to cut top or bottom or a bit off both. For this, we obviously want to keep a lot of the top, so I'm going to cut off the bottom. So 11.7 I said. So line that up and use my cutter there. So before we put everything together, let's just check that we like that. All right, now if you wanted a slightly bigger border, then you could cut a slither more. It's totally up to you, but that's what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to attempt to stamp my greeting directly on here. If it doesn't work, then we'll back up with that. So I would probably, for you, use maybe Mossy Meadow or the Cajun Craze. And I quite like to do lots of thank you cards. So there is a thanks in the Thoughtful Wishes set. It's quite a fine thanks. or there's a slightly thicker one in the Spotlight on Nature. They're very similar. So I've got this one handy. So make sure, they're both here. Let me show you what they are like on a scrap piece, if I can find a scrap piece. And you can see what they're like. Whoops. So that is one. And that's the other. Can you see that? Oh, so one's got a capital T and one doesn't. Let's go for the one that is in that set, the Thoughtful Wishes stamp set. So we'll go with this. So we're going to put that down the bottom. And I haven't actually got my stamp on, which is, or my sticker on the back, which is unlike me. All right, there we go. Now, what I thought, because this has got white in it, I'm actually going to use some white thread. Whereas this was linen thread, and then this one was, what do you call it? Linen thread, and this one was a bow. So how I do it, you've probably seen this a million times, but we'll put some tape on the back. Sometimes you have to help that roll through, and we're going to go back and forth a few times, about 3 times. But I really like the white with the white. So these are, yeah, quick, easy cards, but they look very effective. They are not my ribbon ones, but these are. Okay, and then we'll just tie a bow. So we're just going to put it through. So you can have fun with these papers and figure out how you can make it economical for a standard size card as well. I'm making this harder for myself. All right. So I appreciate those of you that are here live today. Thank you for joining me. Has anybody else got this paper and used it? I think it's quite stunning. There we go. Oops, that's a bit sideways, but see if we can adjust it slightly. Okay, then it's basically adhering our layers together and then onto our, what do you call it? Note card. So we've got some glue where the tape went, and we'll just put, oops, a thin layer. That is not a thin layer. Sometimes that happens. It comes out in a blob. Let's just, oops, don't want to get my necklace in, not bracelet in it. There we go. So we're going to put that onto the Cajun Craze, and you can play with the measurements. That is just a very thin border, but it just accents it. It just brings out the color, and I love the glue because you can slide it and things. I think I've got slightly wider on that one, but that's okay. And then like that with some green. So there isn't actually a lot of green on this, but for all the cards there's, you know, some kind of trees and bushes, so I went with the green background, but you could mix and match the colors too. All right, just that. Oh dear. And then we'll have obviously a white border showing as well. So the good thing with our note cards is they are pre-scored, so fold it, but I do like to just make sure it's lined up and then crease it and put that on. Here we go. Like so. Isn't that beautiful? So you can make it a thinking of you, a thanks, a happy birthday, some nice little note cards to go with a gift. All right. There we are. So that's that one. Then I said I wanted to do one of the blues. So I've got this here, and I've got my Misty Moonlight. Both of my designs kind of have the pattern at the top. There we go. So like so. So we've got to bring back our trimmer and cut off some of the length. You could make a set of these and put it in a nice box or something, and then give someone a set of cards and use a variety of colors and a variety of sentiments. You could do some for yous or something, and then that would what would it do? It would, yeah, give them a range of things. Now I just noticed I did a couple of things with this one here. I put it on the paper With these ones here, I put the twine around the cardstock. Now the paper could rip if you pull it too tight, so I might actually do this one. We'll stick this together and then we'll put our ribbon or twine around, because that will just hold it a bit firmer. So no right or wrong, just whatever works for you. Okay, so there we go. So we've got that little blue accent color, whoops, shining through. So how about what should we use? We could use white again because it's there. We could go for something sparkly. This ribbon is kind of I don't know if it's even current, but it looks quite effective because it's got a slight sparkle to it. How about here your suggestions? This has got a slight pink in it, which worked well for that card, but you don't notice it too much. So we've got three choices. We can go with the sparkly ribbon, we can go for the white, or we could go for the linen thread. So while we're deciding, I'm going to clean my stamp and we're going to stamp our sentiment. Clean that, and I'm going to go for Misty Moonlight this time, while you guys think about what we should use. White ribbon, white thread, or the brown linen thread. Oh, this is the other stamp this time. Okay, let's go with that. You can see both then. Thanks. There we are. All right. Do we have any suggestions? No one's answering. We are a few of you live. Okay, I might have to make the decision myself. I think we might just go for the white again. So where is my tape? Here it is. So you'll see that these ones don't really have any white in them, but this one has kind of got the white, so that's why I'm going to go for the white. That's my rationale. Okay. And we can add a little bit of embellishment to them as well, some sparkle or something. So at coffee and cards, sometimes people used rhinestones or pearls or the dragonfly things as well. So there's a few possibilities. Right, now I need another piece of Mossy Meadow, and I have a feeling this one might need cutting down. No, that's actually okay, I think. Yeah, we'll go with that. Oh, Linda said white. Thank you, Linda. I'd already started, but glad we're on the same page. All right, so thank you to everyone that's joining me today. Appreciate you being here. So if you're watching the recording, then you don't get an input into what colours and things. You just have to see what we decided. Okay, tying a bow. Or did I leave that long enough? I'm not sure. We'll soon see. But the papers themselves are beautiful and they do a lot of the work for the card. So that's cool. Oh, there we go. Now we find another note card. So these note cards come in a pack of 20 and they come with the envelopes too. So that makes life nice and easy. A Misty Moonlight ribbon. Yes, that would be nice, except, oops, that needs to slide over a little bit. It's probably in the other room, but that would be quite nice as well. That is slightly wonky. Shall I share a tip with you of what I do if I'm not happy and it's wonky? I'm going to get my heat tool here. Sorry, hang on. I knocked my microphone off. It's ever so slightly wonky, but not happy. So what I'm going to do, hopefully it's not too noisy. I'll move these ones out the way. This is heat resistant, by the way, so that's good. I'm going to heat it slightly to melt the glue that I just glued down. So I should have looked more quickly and adjusted it straight away. Probably got about 10 seconds to do so. But if you stick it on upside down or you make a mistake, here is a little trick to fix it. So I put glue around the edge of mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm heating it to melt the glue, and then hopefully it will just lift up and peel. So let's see if that's enough. So lift it up because otherwise if you try and pull it up, it will rip. I can't grab it. It's still ripping, so we'll just heat it a bit more. Okay, so this is a tip if you need to, you glued something down and it's not right. Not sure if I'm going to have to do the whole thing or whether I can just sort of do 3/4 and adjust it. Has anyone else tried this before? I did use Tombow, but it works for other tapes as well because it just melts the stickiness and you can lift it up. Let's see if that's enough. So it happens to the best of us. Trying to peel. Oh, look at that. See how it peels up? Oops, I did rip a little bit there, but see how it's just peeling? Look at that. Isn't that cool? Now, if I keep going where I didn't heat it, see how it would rip, which is not quite what I want to do. So if we can just, I'm just pulling it slightly to the left so it's a bit straighter. And I'll need to put a bit more glue on, but then it's not wonky. I might need to just pull it over a little bit more. The glue is actually still a little bit sticky. I am going to heat up here as well, but I am going to put some new glue down. So a bonus tip for you today. I am using it actually on the high mode. I get too frustrated with the low mode. It's too slow for me. So just the high mode. And adjust my glasses so I can see better. So that looks like it's squarer now. So we'll put a bit more glue down because all I've done is I've just pulled it a fraction that way, which I should have done while the glue was wet, but you know, I didn't look closely enough. We'll blame it on the camera being in the way. How about that? All right, so let's put that down and we're going to adjust it to the left. There we go. I'm happy with it. I just don't like it if it's stuck down and it's wonky. Okay. So my blue edging on that is, yeah, quite narrow. You can see a bit more of the Mossy Meadow, but it just, you know, brings out that blue color. Right, let's see if we can get this one on straight, shall we? Adjust it now, well, before the glue has dried. Yep, I'm happy with that. There we go. So the question is, do I have, yes, my embellishments handy? So you can, these are not in the catalogue, but they're in the online store. The birds and the dragonflies. So they're flat, so they're not bulky, so that's kind of quite good. We could put a couple of these on if you feel they're appropriate. We might just go with the dragonflies. Where do you want them? Up the top? Coming down? I don't know. Sort of like that. Maybe one down here. Another one over here. We'll have that one going away. So odd numbers like that. Let's do something different for the Cajun Craze one. And what have I got? Well, this one, I don't know what's current and what's not, but you can see what you've got in your stash. They're quite a nice colour. Oh, they are big and small. I don't know if it's maybe sort of a calypso-y coral kind of thing. So maybe we'll put it around our sentiment where it's not so busy down here. So that's quite big. Like here maybe. Sort of a triangle, because there's already a lot happening there, so I don't feel that we need too much at the top. So down there. This one I hadn't added anything, but you could put, I don't know, let's do a couple of sparkles up here somewhere. One, I might just go for all small. Two, and or maybe a big one down. Oops, it flew away. One down here like that. So just kind of adds to it. What do you like to use? Do you like to use the rhinestones or the pearls? Not quite sure what you like. Interesting to see. Okay, so let's have a look at the cards we've got. So the ones that we made today, let's put those in the middle. And after this live, I'll try and remember to add the measurements for you, but you can sort of play around, remembering that the DSP is 3 inches, which is just a shy over 7.6 centimeters wide, and then you can decide if you want like 3 mils around the edge or whatever. To me, these actually look slightly narrower than what I did on those, so there's no right or wrong, just whatever you like. So I've got 4 different papers here. We've got one with Petunia Pop and the flowers, the one with Cajun Craze, the blues, Misty Moonlight, and this one here, which is really what is it? Wild wheat, but I've used it with crushed curry, which is fine. What's your favorite? I'd love to see what ones you like as your favorites and things. So I'm just looking back at the comments, and Sheila was saying peel the banana. Yes, it is kind of like peeling it when you're pulling off that glued down bit. All right. Sheila likes pearls too. Yeah, pearls are quite nice, so they're good too. So lots of uses for the Thoughtful Journey papers. Like I say, I've already still got all these left. I've done it for coffee and cards. I've used it in another class. I've made cards. You may even remember what I showed you last week. If you didn't see it, you might want to check back at last week. So we made that card. So again, it was a strip down the middle, being economical. And I was debating whether I was going to colour this with the, what colour was it? Old Olive, I think, with a blending brush, or leave it white. So that was what the white looks like, and I shared a post, and there were lots of variation. Many like that, but many like this too. And initially I liked that, but now I actually think I like the white. So whatever appeals. And then I thought I'd try it with a different paper with the Petunia Pop, one of my favorite new colors. And so that looks quite nice too, and I've kept with the white. So if you missed last week's video, check that out because it uses the paper, but it also uses the stamps and dies from that Thoughtful Journey suite on page 46 and 47. So this is the annual catalogue. If you don't have a copy of this and you don't already have a demonstrator and you'd like a copy, check out the links in the description, and I'm happy to send you one, get in contact with you and send you one. I'd encourage you, if you're not on my mailing list, please sign up for that. So just go to stampwithangela.co.nz/free. You'll get a free tutorial when you sign up, and then lots of information, exclusive tutorials, and then information about what's happening and things. So there are a few things happening, and I didn't get around to printing off some images and things. So let's come back to me, and I will tell you a couple of things that are happening for July. Are we here? Yes, here I am. So if you didn't get my newsletter, you may not yet know about this, but for the month of July, we have bonus days. So that means in New Zealand, when you spend $110, or for each $110 that you spend, you get a $11 voucher, a bonus days coupon voucher or code. And so it gets sent to you after you've placed your order, and then you get to redeem that in August, and you get $11 to spend. So if you spent an order of $220, you would get 2 vouchers and you'd get $22 off. If you spent $330, then you would get 3 vouchers, so $33 off. And an order of $300 or more also gets stamping rewards on that order at that time. So you would get like $33 of extra product to choose on your order. So that's like an extra $60 worth of free product. So the sweet spot is orders over $330, and you get stamping rewards for $33 and then $33 worth of coupon codes to use next month. So that's a really good deal. So you can either order online through my online store, choosing me as your demonstrator, and the coupon codes will be sent to you, so keep those safe. Or you can contact me and I can help go through your order. You can still order online, or give it to me and I can process it for you, and it can still be sent to you. So this month is a great time to make the most of those bonus day coupons, and it's even great because you benefit next month as well. Now, the other thing is I showed you the annual catalogue, which is here. So that's around for until April next year. So it's around for a while. But this month, Stamping Up have released their online exclusives. So that means they aren't in a printed catalogue like this. They are shown in the online store. You can still order them the same way, whether you're ordering yourself online or if you contact me and I help you with your order. It's just you can't see them in the catalogue. They are in the online store. So if you have a look, I think it's in the top left of the screen. There's different categories like kits and that kind of thing. There's one category called online exclusives, and you will see, click on that, and then you'll see what some of the products are for online exclusives. And there's a variety of stuff. There is like a bundle, which is like a stamp set, embossing folder and dies with big leaves and things. There's Christmas stuff, all sorts of things. And like each month, there are also 2 new kits that have come out. I briefly share what they were in my newsletter, and I'm trying to remember. One is kind of circus-like with animals, so that might appeal to kids, and the other one is, I think, flowers and leaves and that kind of thing, but it's all, die cut for you and things. And I think one of them, I can't remember if it's got stamps in it or not. Sorry, you'll have to check that out or check out the newsletter from me. So lots of things happening this month. So please, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm happy to help you. So yeah. So make the most of bonus days. Make the most of online exclusives. Lots of wonderful new products. And remember this beautiful Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper. It is $26.25. Just checking the catalogue. $26.25 plus shipping and things. So you can use it on its own, or you can use it with other sets and things too. All right, thank you for being here. Appreciate those of you, many of you who are my regulars, faithfully watching. I know this time doesn't suit everybody live because it's the middle of the day, but it's a quiet time in my household and I'm not running around after my kids, so doing it in the day is good. But the good thing about the recording is you can watch it when it suits you, so that's cool. All right, thank you so much. Remember, please reach out to me if I can help, if you need a catalogue. Sign up to my newsletter if you're not already on my mailing list. And I look forward to seeing you next week. All right, thanks so much. See you again soon. Bye.